Pleasure to speak to you.
Yeah, good man. Good to see
We're
you.
just saying, this beats a hotel room.
No, beats the hell out of a hotel room. Jesus Christ.
Well, you're here for a cracking film, the fifth one, and it's probably the best in the franchise. And that, I was just saying to Vin earlier on, that very rarely happens. 5 films in, 2 films in to a franchise. What do you think it is about this one that just clicks?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm going off of what people are saying, and like I'm one of those guys. Yeah. I'm so cynical at this point, because I go, here's yeses and how great everything is all the time. I'm like, really? But you start hearing it enough, and you go, hey, maybe that's the case, And when you get into it, obviously you don't want to go out and make something that's subpar. The ambition is to make something that's better, but there's a fine line because if you obsess on making something that's better, you're frozen and you don't get anywhere. So, we went into this one with the mentality, let's have a really good time. Everyone's really back, and in my mind, this is like making it to the championship game, right? I mean, like you said, to even have the opportunity to make a 5th one in itself is just completely crazy. So, let's go on ahead. Let's do the best work that we can. But at the end of the day, if it ends up being complete dog, at least we could say we had a good time making it. There you go.
But I mean, obviously 5 films in, and it's a very physical role. But that's obviously something you really enjoy. You enjoy the physical part of it. A lot of free running around, jumping through roofs and stuff like that.
For sure.
Anytime I've read an interview with you beforehand, there's a big smile comes on Paul's face as soon as the free running's mentioned. So you try and do as many stunts as you can, and you try to embrace that as much as you can.
And they try to neuter you as much as they can. They take
insurance guy sitting there.
Yeah, they take it away. But along the way, when you work with people for as long as I've worked with these guys, you earn a certain level of respect. We've been working with the same stunt coordinators and, and just everyone from all across the board, right? And so along the way, they look at it and they're like going, well, and not to like pat myself on the back too much, but there are, quite frankly, a lot of things that I can do better than some of the stuntmen. A lot of the stuntmen, there are certain guys we bring in that are specialists that say are really good at this or good at that, but my lifestyle, the way that I was raised and playing all the sports and doing everything that I did, like I like to consider myself a pretty physical and athletic guy.
Bit of an athlete.
Yeah, I love, and the physical challenge, that aspect of it is the most fun aspect. That to me is the best part.
The scale is up here massively because the last film was such a big success. Universal backed this one in a really big way. Is there a noticeable difference on set? There's like 6 action sequences or something like that in this one.
Yeah, no, this one's really, really big. And, I have a stunt double. We grew up together. His name's Oakley Lehman. Our mothers went to high school together, so I've known this guy forever. And he's a complete stud when it comes to anything motorized. And there's certain things that he does, and there's times where I look at it and I go, son of a, like, I want to do that, But there was that one sequence, though, with the train.
Yeah, the start.
Yeah, right. They're shooting that out in the middle of the open desert, and it's 120 degrees plus, and he's on the platform of that truck. He's holding onto the rope.
You have to jump over.
He had to do the wide sequence of it. And on contact, they're taking a gun, right, that gives the gauge of the heat, and it's so high up there that on immediate contact, it's immediately blistering his skin. And that's one of those moments where I was like, he's a lot better than me at everything.
He's a much better stunt guy than I am.
He is. But when it comes to jumps, when it comes to motorcycles, when it comes to anything really radical, there's no one better than Oakley. He's the man.
But the heart of the movie, of course, it's not just action. The relationship between yourself and Finn, it's gone through so many different stages, and now it's kind of like brotherhood.
Oh yeah.
And is that paralleled off camera as well? Are you guys 10 years now?
I definitely consider us to be pretty good friends at this point. I mean, more than pretty good friends, good friends. Yeah. But our lifestyles and our approach to life is so different. My play arena is completely different than his. He's from the East Coast. He's East Coast at heart. I was born and raised on the West Coast. I spend most of my time out there.
Beaches like this.
Yeah, I'm a backpacker, trekker, hunter, fisherman. Like I do all that stuff. And he's more of a city guy. So I think that those two elements, I think our personality and just how we are so different, I think that's what people have found complementary. Yeah. It's just our own kind of personal being, and we bring it together, and as opposed to it being a clash, for some reason it kind of morphs and becomes something, and people have clicked with it.
You can't teach that dynamic. Well,
no.
It's a pleasure to speak to you, Paul, and we'll see you in Dublin soon.
I hope so.
Maybe
that'd
for
be
six,
cool.
Fast 6.
Yeah, I'd like that very much.
Pleasure to meet you.